So what should you do if your brand new tractor has broken down? Hey friends, this is the Homestead Bandwagon. I'm Micah, celebrating my 3rd year as a certified forklift operator. I did it, Mom. Your boy made you proud. What I'm doing today is the first in a series of videos that I'm calling This Tractor Sucks. What I'm concentrating on in this series is what to do when your tractor breaks down. Now, if you've got a used tractor, I guess you just go buy parts and fix it yourself or go find a decent mechanic. But what if you've got a brand new tractor, still under warranty, and the thing broke down? What should you do to get that tractor fixed? That's what I'm going to talk about today. I sell tractors for a living. I also write service. I also do parts. I wear a lot of hats at the dealership I'm at. I've seen customers have a lot of different problems with a lot of different brands and models of tractors. And I've seen customers who've been very successful at getting their problems fixed and customers who have been very unsuccessful at getting their problems fixed. I'd like to kind of peel back the curtain here and share from my point of view what has worked for people to get their tractor fixed when it's malfunctioning. And I'll also share what has not worked for people to get their tractor fixed when it's malfunctioning. As a little housekeeping, I don't think this particular tractor sucks. I just thought it would be a fun title for a series of videos, and honestly now I almost regret it, but I still think it's a fun title. So this tractor's awesome. When your tractor's having problems, that tractor sucks, because that's what people say. Okay, let's get on with it. So the first and most important thing you gotta do if your tractor breaks down is document everything. If you are having a problem with your tractor, write down what's happening. When does it happen? What conditions was going on? What day of the week was it? What was the weather like? Had it been sitting for a long time? Was it in the middle of running? Take pictures. If it's something that's obviously broken, take pictures of those things. Really write down dates and times. Keep track of stuff because it's going to come in handy later. You're going to want to have data to either give the dealer, give the repair person, give the manufacturer, or just to kind of keep track of your timelines here so things don't get mixed up. Document everything early, right from the start. Write it down, take pictures, get that stuff documented. Now, once the customer does reach out to me telling me that there's a problem with their tractor, the thing that always amazes me is I'll ask them right away, when did this problem start? And it always amazes me that a lot of customers will say, well, it's been going on for a couple years. Why would you wait to get help? Get out there early, talk to your dealer early, speak to them, say, hey man, I'm having this problem. Can we talk about it? And give them some information. Allow them to help you, because if you wait, it may be too late. Your tractor, especially if you're trying to get warranty work done on it, that warranty doesn't last forever. So 3 years after your problem started, when your tractor's out of warranty, no manufacturer on earth is going to go back in time and say, well, you say the problem was there from the start. Yeah, let's go ahead and fix that for you. It just doesn't work that way. The manufacturer won't believe the dealer when the dealer tells them that. So no matter how much your dealer likes you and wants to help you, if you're not getting on top of that problem early and getting the documentation process started, you're going to be out of luck. Another thing I think is really important is to make sure you're working with the right person. So I sell tractors, but I'll also write service. I'll also pull parts and look up parts. And I do a little bit of everything at the dealership, but I'm not always the right person. If you're calling your salesperson looking for solutions to a service issue and he doesn't really interact with the service department or work in the service department, that might be the wrong person. Who's the right person for you to work with? Let's figure out who that person is, establish that really early, and work with that person. And while you're working with that person, consider not doing all your work verbally. Let's email some stuff. Let's text some stuff. Let's get some documentation continuing to go. Just so you've got something to fall back on, or some data to rely on, or maybe some emails you can bring back up and say, hey guys, remember we talked about this? I don't think this got addressed. Can we please do that? Now, next thing you really got to do is prepare yourself to have an open mind and compromise a little bit. If you are working with someone to get something fixed, there's another person involved. You're going to have to work with them, not against them. So if you're coming at people aggressively, angrily, it's probably not going to work to your benefit. I'm just here to tell you, because the person on the other end of the phone or the other end of the computer or the other end of the desk, if you're yelling and screaming at them and belittling them and treating them like garbage, they're probably not going to help you. They're probably going to work against you. That's just human nature. We don't help our adversaries, we work against our adversaries. Consider taking a deep breath, working with that person, because they probably didn't break your tractor. Consider working with them towards a common goal, which is getting your tractor fixed. If you can do that, I can promise you're going to be more successful. Now, next thing I'd really encourage a person to do when they're talking to their dealer about the problem with their tractor is to let the dealer take care of the diagnosis. And the reason I say this is you may be a great mechanic, you may be a very intelligent person, but maybe you don't have the specific experience with that specific machine. So if you go into the problem just thinking you know exactly what your issue is and demanding that that and only that be fixed, you may not get your real problem fixed. Take your documentation, say, hey, here's the problem I'm having. Here's the thing that's happening. My machine isn't starting, or my loader won't lift, or my 3-point arms won't drop, or whatever is going on. Just tell them what is happening, rather than saying, hey, I need you to put a new starter in my tractor. Because your starter might not be the problem, but if you force focus to the starter and they replace the starter and then hand you a bill and you go, why did I get a bill? And they said, well, you said to replace the starter. What else did you want us to do? And then you say, well, the problem is my machine doesn't start when it's cold. You just boxed yourself into a repair that didn't need to be done. So tell your dealer what's going on, show them your documentation, and allow them to begin their diagnostic steps to fix your machine. Now, what goes along with those diagnostic steps and allowing your dealer to diagnose your tractor is being honest. Don't hold back facts. I had a customer come in one time with a loader that was busted. The loader frame was busted. And we knew they weren't telling us something because they brought it in without the bucket on the front of the loader. So the first thing my shop manager asked is, hey man, where's the bucket? And the customer said, you don't need the bucket. It made him kind of suspicious. Wouldn't it make you suspicious? Because why would somebody bring in their tractor and not the whole tractor? It turned out, once we finally saw the bucket, that the side of the bucket was completely caved in. The customer had been bashing on stumps trying to get them out of the ground, broke his loader frame, and destroyed his tractor through misuse. It wasn't a warranty claim that was valid. That being said, we did work with the customer. We worked with the manufacturer. We saw some things on the welds on that loader frame that we weren't in love with. The manufacturer actually helped out with that repair. The customer would have been just up a creek normally, but because finally he was honest with us and reasonable, we worked with him, we worked with the manufacturer, and we got a reasonable concession out of the manufacturer where we worked together with the customer to get a repair done. In another case, I had a customer completely overfill the oil in his engine. And from the start, he told us that. He says, hey man, I thought it was supposed to be 4 gallons. It turns out it was supposed to be 4 quarts. I forced 4 gallons of oil into the engine of my tractor. I had to run the tractor to get it to take more oil, and then it wouldn't shut off. The engine ran away and it blew up. I made a dumb mistake. I've only got 50 hours on this thing. Can you help me somehow? What should I do? He was super honest from the start, and we went to bat for him. We actually tore that whole engine down, and we did find something in the bottom of the engine that was kind of suspicious. Talked to the manufacturer and said, hey, here's what's up. In the bottom end of this engine, XYZ is going on. The manufacturer agreed to fix that at no cost to the customer. He had to pay for 1 or 2 little parts, but he, instead of paying a couple grand for an engine, got out of there for a couple $100. So be honest. Tell your dealer all the information. That will help them help you. Now, after you've gotten with your dealer to document the issue, this is where the open mind comes in, because you may not have an issue. Now, if something's smoking or on fire or leaking or something, obviously that's an issue. But if there's a sound that you just don't like, or if the tractor doesn't behave in the way you want it to behave, that might not be an issue. I've had customers who are just so mad that their hydrostatic transmission tractor an automatic transmission, a non-manual gear transmission tractor, won't climb steep hills in high gear. And the fact is, they're not made to do that. They're not designed to do that. It's not a fault. It's just how tractors work. People mad that they can't lift 2,000 pounds on the tractor that is rated for 500 pounds. Sorry, it's not broken. So talk to your dealer, explain to them the situation, and let's make sure that you do have a problem. Maybe there's just a knowledge gap there, and maybe the dealer didn't help you gain that knowledge early on, but let's close that knowledge gap and make sure. It may be useful to check out the same machine on the lot and try it out and see if it's having the same thing going on. That doesn't mean both machines aren't broken, both machines don't have a problem, but let's be willing to at least consider that maybe you don't have an issue. Maybe this is just how the machine is. And if it is that way and you don't like it, then your choice is to either get a different machine or learn to live with whatever this thing that irritates you is. But if there's something broken, we do want to really verify that. And a great way to verify that is to look at a similar machine and see if it's going on with that machine. Just a thought. Now, one of the smartest things you can do when you check your machine in with your dealer and you're starting the documentation process is find out what their average repair time is and have them give you a time estimate. They might say, I don't know. It's okay to push a little bit and say, yeah, but on average, are we waiting 2 days? Are we waiting 2 weeks? Are we waiting 2 months? Give me an idea. Because once you have that idea in mind, at least then you know when you can start going, it's been a little long, I'm gonna call them. But if in your mind it's only a 2-day repair and in their mind it's a 2-month and you guys haven't discussed that, that's a problem. You can't really depend on the dealer always to do that because a lot of dealers just won't tell you a repair time estimate. Also, ask them at what point they'll stop and call you. What I mean is, if they find out this repair's not warranty, are they going to stop and call you to approve the repair, or are they just going to proceed? You might want to find that out early and maybe give them a budget. Say, hey, if it's not warranty, I'm cool with spending up to $1,000. Let's just get this show on the road. So definitely want to do both of those things. Once a diagnosis has begun, or once the machine has been checked in, or once you've contacted the dealer, ask them to document the problem with the time and date, and ask them to get you a copy of that. Get a work order from the dealer with the time and date that the problem was reported, if not diagnosed. Make sure that documentation happens early. I had a customer where they couldn't afford to have their tractor having any downtime, so they had me diagnose and document their problem. It was a leaking gas tank or a leaking fuel tank. They were able to patch it, but they wanted a new fuel tank. Quite a while later, they got a hold of me and said, hey, we're ready to get that tank. They were out of warranty. Most dealers probably won't do this, but we had diagnosed the issue. We had verified the issue. We had the part for them for their issue. We installed the tank. We got the information off to the manufacturer, got the warranty approved, got paid, got the tractor back to them. We had done some documentation that verified everything within the warranty period. And by the time they got it to me, they were about a week or two out of the warranty period. So we were able to fudge it a little bit. They were also really, really nice customers to deal with. Like, they're always sweet as pie. So we worked with them. So just get the documentation at the very least. Get your repairs done within the warranty window for sure. Don't wait. But at the very least, get that documentation. They had the paperwork. We kept the paperwork. It helped to have it documented early what the problem was. Something that really stinks in the industry right now is that good help is hard to find. My work found me, but I wouldn't consider the help I give to be good. It's okay, but finding a technician who knows how to work on tractors, especially the modern compact utility tractors and even the big ag stuff, is really difficult. For that reason, the machine to be diagnosed will more than likely need to go into the dealership. They don't have guys just laying around who can go out and perform a full diagnostic at your home. It's just a fact. And the fact is, you're probably going to have to pay for that transportation to get the tractor to the dealer. Because, see, the manufacturers will not pay for transportation. 99% of the time, they will say no. The 1% of the time, they'll probably still say no, but they'll say it in a different way. So why is that? Well, let's say you bought a tractor from me here in Washington. You live in Alaska and you want the tractor brought to me to have warranty work done on it. You can't ask me to come pick it up for free. We'd go out of business doing that. And the manufacturer would as well. They can't control where these tractors are stored. Some of them are in inaccessible places. I've got a customer who helicoptered their tractor in to their home in Alaska. Manufacturers just aren't going to cover that bill to have the tractor brought in. So you're going to have to pay for transportation to get the machine to your dealer to have the diagnosis and repair performed. That's just the rules. By and large, many manufacturers won't even allow an on-site diagnostic done because they're trying to avoid people doing sneaky things, to be honest with you. There's certain things they require to be done in the diagnostic steps at the dealership. And we're seeing that more and more and more lately. These manufacturers want the machine there. So be prepared to pay for transportation to get your tractor to the dealership. It sucks, but bad things happen. We just got to deal with it. Okay, so this series is to be continued. Next video I'll be doing is what to do if your warranty claim is denied or declined, some steps you can take to help you along, and just how to respond. And then another video on what to do if your dealer just kind of ghosts you, because that does happen. So how do we navigate not getting a repair done? What should you do? That's coming up. If you subscribe, you may get a notification that I've posted those videos. You might not, because YouTube's weird about that. But I've got a playlist for all these videos. You can add that playlist to your watch list or something. I don't know how technology works, but do a thing to do some other things to watch the other videos. All right, we'll see ya.